Hello, this is Patrick Riley, and tonight I will be discussing thoughts of size and scale of government from four different perspectives. And those perspectives would be from Aristotle, Johann Althusius, Thomas Hobbes, and David Hume. Aristotle believed that society should be small, smaller the better, easier to govern. Jen Blom Hansen, in his article, Size, Democracy, and the Economic Costs of Running the Political System, posed the question, is there an optimal size for a political system? Aristotle stressed small autonomous entities where people could know each other, but be large enough to support themselves. Political thinkers have seen democratic virtues in small jurisdictions. Smallness facilitates participation in politics, enhances trust in leadership, and promotes consensus. And it also distributes power. Johann Althusius is our next person, and Patrick Riley, no relation to me, in his article, Three 17th Century German Theorists of Federalism, Althusius, Hugo, and Leibniz, said the rise of centralized national states in the 16th century gave rise to the doctrine of sovereignty. And he believed in a federated society, and in his society, provinces formed the Commonwealth. Citizens were known as a symbiote, and they had a symbiotic relationship with government. And I always was told that a bee and a flower is a good example of a symbiotic relationship. The two help each other out. He believed that it was a medium size, larger than a republic, but smaller than a monarchy. And Dr. Livingston, in his presentation, said that an excellent example of a society Althusius would really think was excellent would be Switzerland. It's a very small country, but it has 26 sovereign states and has been very successful. Thomas Hobbes. James H. Reed's article, Thomas Hobbes, Power in the State of Nature and Power in Civil Society, quoted Hobbes, the greatest of human powers is that which is compounded of the powers of most men, united by consent in one person, natural or civil, that has the use of all their powers depending on his will, such as the power of a commonwealth, or depending on the wills of each particular, such as is the power of a faction or of diverse factions league. Hobbes felt that without coercive power, life would be, and I'm sure you've heard this saying, poor, nasty, and brutish. He believed in central authority, a large size, and expanding territory was perfectly acceptable. And if power was ever relinquished, that would cause absolute anarchy. And he did not believe at all in the possibility of succession, whereas the other ones mostly did. David Hume, he said the republic is large, and in his ideal society, it would break down into 100 county republics with 100 parishes, and the freeholders would vote for one representative. Therefore, you'd have 100 legislators, and 100 in the Senate. Since he was he was from Scotland, the church in his society would be Presbyterian, and no others would be created. And if it got too big and out of hand, Hume did feel that succession was acceptable. And the early manifestation in monarchies, you've heard the term saying, the king is dead, long live the king. Well, the king has two bodies. He has a body of flesh and bone. That body obviously can die, but the other part of his body is the laws, the regulations, the rules. So that never dies because it doesn't really matter who's there as long as there is a person, and the flesh and bone person can die and be replaced by another king, by another king, by another king. And the artificial man is the modern manifestation of that premise. In my bibliography, I took a lot of that from Dr. Livingstone.